2 seconds out. That's not bad.
We're getting better at this, aren't we? Greetings, Seb.
Good evening, Seb.
1 week we might get it spot on. You never know.
No, we don't want it spot on because then we'd be a bit too precise. No, we want to be either a second off either way.
Yeah, I'm actually putting one together, one of our own to put together for 2024. So that could be fun. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome to the weekly natter about all things music and art and laugh. We had trains and planes and music all in 5 minutes. Anything can happen on here. As I say in Stingray, anything can happen in the next half hour or in the next couple of hours in our case. So I hope everyone is well. Good afternoon, Mick. Been a busy old week as usual. Yeah, 2,738 people in watching the channel this week. It's 12 new subscribers. We're getting about 12 a week, which is pretty good.
It's constant. That's brilliant.
Yes. Well, you've been watching, well, Slade. You keep watching Slade. 54 of you still want to watch Slade. Number 2, Bad Iron Maiden songs. 89 people have watched that this week. I haven't had no stick yet, though, so that's...
Exactly. You got it right.
Yes. And the most watched one this week is last week's marathon, Duran Duran, 104.
Well, of your created videos, yes.
Yes. Thank you for watching the live stream last week. What was it? 331?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most we've ever had watched afterwards. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening, Stephen.
Yes. Best watch short, Muse, the debut album, Showbiz, 137.
Wow, get after after the bad review that you gave some of their stuff. Was it last year or earlier this year?
Happy Thanksgiving, Pulsar. I forgot it's Thanksgiving Day today.
Oh yes, happy Thanksgiving. Yes,
all our American viewers. What shall we go next? Oh, it's the 28 days list. 11,048 views. Number 3. Again, 180 people that are watching Slade in the last month. That's incredible. And what's more incredible, 209 people are still watching my very first video.
Whoa.
209. And at number 1, it's the favourite songs that failed to make the top 75 for Richard at 255. We're at it again on Saturday, doing American number 1s.
That sounds disgusting.
Yes. And the top short for the month, because we've moved into a new month, is Muse, 137. So the big figures, the big ones, we're now up to 247,802 views.
Not a problem, Pulsar. Enjoy.
Yes, we're going to... So support Pulsar and Stephen tonight because their albums are going neck and neck at the moment.
Yes.
So I know you don't come up, guys. So in the gallery, you've got your time to put why they should vote for your albums while I waffle on. So we've got now 1,273 subscribers to the channel. Top 3. Derek Riggs, Iron Maiden at 3,989. Slade, second with 4,144. But the status quo, top of the pile again. That's all they always are. It's 7,737.
There we go. There's Pulsar's promo. Vote yes, Close to the Edge, best prog album ever.
Well, it's one of the best.
Evening, Mike.
Good evening, Mike. Jean-Michel Jarre still the Oxygen, still the big short 2,701 now. And what have I been listening to? Well, we've got lots of fresh ones now because we've completed a lot of the old ones that have been hanging around. I've started listening to Dr. Feelgood. 2 of the 17. I'm listening to some Roger Daltrey now. I'll listen to one of his 10. One of Lou Reed's. one of Nick Lowe's, one of Crowded House, one of Timbuk3, and one of Haken. But I've completed Beach Boys, Echo and the Bunnymen, John Cale, The Cramps, Epica, and This Heat. Can someone remind me who asked for This Heat? Because I'm going to shoot you.
Hang on. Did you say Crowded House?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yes,
got
I
them
did
in
say it this
progress.
afternoon.
Ah.
So that's what I've been
while I
listening
was
to,
on.
and what.
Oh no, I've found them. That's okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, as Paul said, this is going to be a close one, and it is at the moment. So I think everyone. Shall we put everyone out of their misery, Dave, and tell them who won last week's?
Oh, do I have to? I mean,
Yeah.
somebody's going to be so sad. I mean, the live stream, it was even Steven. It was 18 votes apiece. It was the closest we've had in the live stream. But it came down to the community vote as usual, and that went 39 votes to 20. So overall, the Beach Boys got 38 votes, but The Who, Quadrophenia, ended up with 57 votes. An overall total, and this is the biggest we've had, 95 votes were cast. Thank you very much for the increase in votes and the support to the channel. It's much appreciated.
It is. This weekend, I will be doing an update of all the results, putting them in the classified score sheet. So that will come probably out on Sunday at some stage. Anyway, I think it must be time for hatches and matches and dispatches.
Right. Okay. As usual, starting with the dispatches, get the sad stuff out of the way first. 16th of November, we lost an American Hall of Fame drummer and co-founder of Kool and the Gang, George Funky Brown. And he was also a songwriter. He wrote Ladies' Night in Celebration. 17th of November, we lost Christiane Bervet, known by her stage name as Samantha. She was a Belgian singer. Also announced on the 17th was, and you'll know the name, Iain, Charlie Dominici, American singer with Dream Theater and Dominici. The 19th of November, we lost three people. We lost a Malagasy singer and composer, a lady by the name of Nini Donia. And we lost Sarah Tavares, a Portuguese singer, composer, guitarist, and percussionist. She represented Portugal at Eurovision in 1994, and she came in 8th place. But the big name that we lost on the 19th, and there's a reason for mentioning the late and great Joss Ackland, British actor known for films such as What Mischief and Lethal Weapon 2. But he also appeared in a pop video. He appeared in the Pet Shop Boys' You Were Always on My Mind. And much later in life, he said that he regretted appearing in the music video. He only did it because he was a workaholic at the time, and he was offered that, and he just said yes.
Yes, he's my favourite line from Lethal Weapon when he goes, "Diplomatic immunity."
Yeah. 20th of November, Mars Williams. I think that's right. An American saxophonist with The Waitresses, Liquid Soul, but Iain, you've reviewed them, the Psychedelic Furs.
Yes, very sad.
Yeah. 21st of November, we lost an Argentine jazz and tango guitarist and composer by the name of Horacio Malvicino. And yesterday, we lost Philip Michael Quartararo. He was American music industry executive. He was the president and chairman of the Hello Group. But he had been a CEO at Virgin Records, Warner Brothers Records, and EMI. And he was involved in the careers of a lot of recording artists, ranging from Linkin Park to Josh Groban to the Spice Girls. So that's all the dispatches for this week. birthdays today, we've only got 16. And one is, you'll know her because you've been listening to her music, Iain. Miley Cyrus.
No,
She's
it's Miley
30.
Cyrus's birthday.
Yeah, she's 30 today. 39 today is Lucas Grabeel, an American actor and singer. 47 is Joe Sumner, a British rock bassist and singer-songwriter with the group Fiction Plane. An American rapper and actor, Corrupt, K-U-R-U-P-T. He was born Ricardo Emmanuel Brown. He's 51 today. 53 today is one of our favourite radio presenters, Zoe Ball. Happy birthday to you, Zoe. 57 today is Patricio Marco Giovanni, known as Patrick Namelli. He's a Dutch musician, founder, lead singer, guitarist, and the only original remaining member of the technical death metal band Pestilence. 61 today. Do you remember the song Turn Back the Clock? Johnny Hates Jazz. Calvin Hayes, the drummer, is 61 today. 62 today is Nicolas Bacri, a French classical music composer. And 66 today, and I enjoyed reading this one, is Mark Radic, or Radice, or Radis, whatever way you want to say it. He's an American session and touring musician. He's played with Donovan, Aerosmith, Cheap Trick. He's also been a singer, songwriter, and producer, and he worked on The Muppets and Sesame Street. 68 today is Ludovico Einaudi, an Italian pianist, classical, and film composer. He worked on the film Divenire. 69 today, and he's just been added to the laundry list this week. Bruce Hornsby, American pop, rock, and bluegrass singer, songwriter, and piano player, best known for the song The Way It Is, amongst other songs. 70 today is Francis Cabrel, a French folk and country singer, songwriter, and guitarist. 72 today is Bill Troiano, an American tuba player. He played with the Guy Lombardo Orchestra and the Long Island Tuba Quartet. 73 today is Cecil Hooker, an American country rockabilly violinist. He played in the group Snuff. 81 today is Steve Gillette, an American folk singer, songwriter, and guitarist known for the song Darcy Farrow. And granddad today is Celine Romero at 87. He's a Spanish classical guitarist with the group The Romeros. That's your hatches. The matches. I had a look. There've been quite a few marriages on this day over the years, but I picked out 5. Iain will immediately know this one. 1940, a 22-year-old RAF pilot married a show dancer and actress named of Eve Moore Penarth, and that pilot was Guy Gibson. He was awarded the VC after Operation Chastise, which we know as the Dam Buster Raid, and he was killed in action in September 1944. 1955, physicist William Shockley married a psychiatric nurse, Emmy Lanning. William Shockley.
That was intense.
I think I know. William Shockley, it turns out, he was a Nobel recipient, and he is one of the founding fathers of Silicon Valley. 1983, Mary Tyler Moore married Dr. Robert Levine in the Pierre Hotel in New York City.
Dr. Robert.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that.
Yeah, I thought you might. 2004, a TV producer, Emily Zoltan, married a magician, Penn of Penn and Teller. They got married at the Viva Las Vegas Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas. And in 2018, Justin Bieber confirmed that he had married American model Hailey Baldwin. So those are your matches. Now, today's year for discussion, the talking point, is 1968. So I've got a few tidbits for you. March, the Bee Gees made their US TV debut on The Ed Sullivan Show. April the 4th, Martin Luther King was assassinated by James Earl Ray in Memphis, Tennessee. April the 23rd, the first decimal coins were issued in Britain, the 5 and 10 pence piece, replacing the old shilling and 2 shilling coins. June the 5th, Sirhan, a Palestinian, assassinated Robert F. Kennedy at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. Kennedy died the next day. August the 20th, during the night, 250,000 Soviet and Warsaw Pact troops invaded Czechoslovakia as a response to Prague Spring. September the 26th, we had a film premiere. Oliver, directed by, Carol Reed, starring Mark Lester and Ron Moody. It premiered in London and went on to win Best Picture Oscar in 1969. October the 12th, the 19th Summer Olympic Games. You don't think of the Summer Olympic Games in October. But October, Summer Games, they opened in Mexico City. Because it's in the Southern Hemisphere, it was in their summer. It was also the first Olympics in Latin America. And December the 30th, Frank Sinatra did the first recording of My Way, with the lyrics written by Paul Anka, and it was based on the French song Comme d'habitude. 5 notable birthdays during that year: Lisa Marie Presley, Lucy Lawless, Kylie Minogue, Will Smith, and Shaggy.
Not Scooby-Doo's, mate.
No. He's a singer.
Yeah.
So that's your hatches, matches, dispatches, and general garbage.
General garbage, yeah.
So I'm going to add next week to that, and we'll put it into full screen, and off you go.
Okay, so what have I got next week? That's the usual old rubbish, I'm afraid. Starting on Monday, we're going to do a great little band that weren't around for much, but they made 4 good albums, and they're called Athlete. If you like Elbow, you're going to like Athlete. And what a classic album I've got for you next week. The debut album from the Brilliant Cars. It's one of them albums that every rock fan should have. Tuesday is Ladies' Day. And it's amazing that I chose Miley Cyrus because it's a birthday, isn't it?
Serendipity.
Yeah, it was done on purpose. I mean, she is a modern sort of great singer. She's doing very well for herself. She went through a wild time, and we'll find out all about that on Tuesday. Retro Ranking is a legend. And I had to find one of the best. When I thought when we was all growing up, and that's how we remember Stevie Nicks.
No, I've got another one in mind.
Yes,
the cover of Rumours.
Stevie Nicks, the top 10 songs, which are very hard to do. Next week's marathon, a great American band made some great songs. It's the Brilliant Cheap Trick. A viewer's request, which I don't mind doing because I do like a bit of a cheap trick. Then we get to Thursday, and what another great battle next week. Stephen's back in the game again with Moving Pictures, and he's up against Father Stack and Metallica by Metallica, or as it's known really as the Black Album.
Yeah.
But its official title is Metallica. Pick a mix next week. We're taking a walk down memory lane on St Andrew's Day, and we're going to look at the top 10 singles in the UK on the 30th of November of 1985, and that takes us round to Friday. a busy day.
Yeah.
Live albums by the brilliant J. Giles Band. They made 3, but boy, are they good. And one that Nick's probably, I know he was ordering this, but it's the new album for Madness, the Theatre of the Absurd presents C'est la Vie. And we start a new story next week. And it's Steve Hillage, someone asked us to review Steve Hillage. And when we looked at it, we went, oh, this is a can of worms. We did a story. And we're starting where it all started for him, from a very underrated album from a band he was in called Uriel. And how would you pronounce that? Is that Rochelle?
Uriel, and for legal reasons, they had to change the name, and they became Arzakel.
Yes. So that's all on next week. Busy old week. So I'm going to stop sharing.
There you
I'm
go.
going to escape.
Yeah, you're on screen.
Good. And I'm going to make myself big and go, hello, I'm back again.
Anyway. Yes, Nick, he was. Nick was saying, wasn't Joss Ackland the voice of the home proud flower man? Yes, he was.
Yes, I had it on tape.
I will go and look.
Anyway, I've got for my 1968 this week. Good evening, Rob.
Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make you big because I need to go and look up something for Stephen.
Okay. So
right,
instead of doing albums this week, because I haven't actually got any physical albums of 1968, they're all on CD, and which I haven't got anymore, and they're on an iPod, so I can't really show that. So I thought I'd show you some films from 1968. So the first one I'm going to show is a film that Steve McQueen was in, and it's the original with Faye Dunaway, the brilliant Thomas Crown Affair. Love that movie. Great movie. The remake was all right, but I love that one better. Also in 1968, this came out, Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston. Everyone remembers that ending of that film. We had a couple of war films as well from that year. One was a Cold War film with Rock Hudson, Patrick McGugan, and Urgis Bozine, Ice Station Zebra. Love that movie.
Hang on.
And one of my favourite war movies came out that year as well. Where Eagles Dare, Clint Eastwood and Richard Burton. Absolutely fantastic. And a comedy film came out that year, a Carry On film. And I'm not going to get out, but Carry On Khyber come out as well. Love the Khyber. But a very significant and well-loved sitcom made its debut in 1968. And it's the one that's got that little tune. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? Dad's Army debuted in 1968. And 9 series and Christmas specials afterwards. And they've just done on UK Gold, they've just put the animated versions of the originals of the ones that I lost. And it's absolutely brilliant to watch. So that's my contribution for today.
As far as I know, they're... hang on. Oh, come back up. Right, take your vote. There you go.
Yeah, that's
as far as I know, they're actually doing all the episodes. I think it's more than just The Missing. From what I've heard of the advert, I think it's all the episodes. I think they're doing the whole series.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, the link's up there for the usual suspects to come up and say. Anyway, how's the voting going? Because at this rate, I can see the panel shootout happening next week at this rate. Don't tell him, Pike. Stupid boy. We're doomed. We're doomed.
No. What was the little rhyme that Pike came up with?
Oh, we can't say that on here. We might get shot. Yeah, I might get shot for that. I don't want to be taken down. So yeah,
All right. Right. Pulsar. Okay, not a problem. Don't deep fry it. Whatever you do.
this I'm going back to this film. I love that bit when they're all sitting around in the like the little court in the like the main room, and the tales they're telling, and everyone's getting confused. Whose side on what side, and
Oh yes, the double the bluff,
the
the
double
double bluff, and
crossing.
the triple bluff.
Yeah, great movies.
Oh yeah, does who recognizes the lyrics?
Yes, yeah. And while there's just
And
me and Dave up here, where am I this week?
yeah, I mean, if you don't know that skyline, I won't say you should be shot, but yeah, there's enough info there above and below Iain.
Yes, that. Do you know I actually took that on one of them touristy buses as we was driving past it.
Yeah, because there's a hell of a queue to get in. Apparently, it has been finished, I believe.
Yes, it only took about 500 years, didn't it?
Yep. Wow.
And it's their HS2, isn't it?
Oh, well, hey, at least it got completed. HS2 isn't going to be completed because they keep cutting it back.
Yeah. I mean, I think he thinks doing that to Birmingham because that line between Rugby and Birmingham is a 2-line railway, and it. He says it every week. One of these weeks, Nick, it will be billing. Yeah, just for you.
I
think I've got taken the bill in that Quadrone.
Yes, if you remember a birthday evening, we went to the Japanese or the Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was actually a very nice pub across the lake that we used to go to occasionally.
Yes, there wasn't there?
Yeah.
That was the pub where they do the cooking in front of you, wasn't it?
The Chinese-Japanese place, yes. Well, yes. You could sit down, and they had the hot plate, and he'd come down, he'd slice, dice, chop, flip, you name it.
As usual, Mr. McCook is bang on the money.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
Oh, just what and Nick's got it. Yes, well done, Nick.
Well done,
Richard. You asked a while back if you could have access to the database for the Battle Royale. I think I said yes, and I think I gave you access. Can you confirm that you got it?
Ooh, deathly silence. Anyway, there's the link if you want to come up and play.
And
this is actually going live out on the Facebook page as well. And while I'm thinking, you remember the other couple of weeks ago, folks, we had issues with the Echo, and I had a really nice email from StreamYard explaining it, and apparently they were aware that we were having problems because they said one of your guests was having issues. So that's very nice of them. So I'm sure they watch this. So thank you very much, StreamYard, for being very good and good customer service and looking after us. I know we pay, but it's very good that you look after us and are aware of what's going on.
Anyway,
the other thing, when we finish round one.
Evening, Michael. Yes, 1968.
Yes. When we finish, like round one's finished, there's going to be a week where there's not going to be a battle going on. So what's going to happen? Dave and I are going to review round one, and what we're going to do, we're going to say who we would have voted for, and we'll see who would have won if we were, our little battle. And that week, we will announce the last winner.
Sorry, I've just seen Richard's big StreamYard brother.
Yes, I've done that. I didn't do I did movies today because I haven't got nothing physical to show today. So hopefully I've sorted out. Hopefully I've sorted out my microphone as well, and it seems to be a lot better on the videos. All I did was move the microphone to the other side of the screen.
Can we hear you, Mother?
Yeah, that's all I did. I moved it from this side of me to that side. And I've also brought this week, as you can see, a nice bright light. So it lights me up. It's a bit of a disco-y one. So if you do that, you can see the difference. That's with it on. And I'll put it on. Look, lights me up.
Yeah, that's the warm setting. Now show them the cold setting.
The cold setting. That's one. Yeah, there's the cold setting. There's the Iain looking like David Dickinson look. But I like it on there.
Yeah, that's natural, or should I say, more natural.
Good evening, Rob.
How are you doing?
Doing very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good. What have you been up to then?
He's been to the barber.
Working.
And had a haircut.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, you look all right, sir.
Yeah.
So 1968.
Yeah. I've got a couple. I haven't pulled any records out. The trouble is, I haven't got that many records from the 60s, really. The only three that I had a look as Beggar's Banquet, Village Green, and the White Album. I think they're the three big hitters, aren't they, from this year?
Yeah, they certainly are.
Yeah.
I liked it was the first album from Fleetwood Mac as well.
Yeah.
That came out. And the Zombies' Great Odyssey and Oracle album.
Yeah, I gave that to Simon as a VCLT. That album.
Evening, Mike.
Hiya.
How are we doing? Yeah, all good.
Yeah. You're a bit young for 1968, aren't you, Rob?
Oh, thanks for saying that.
Iain, tell them about the nice gentleman who called you a young man.
Yeah, someone put a comment on my Slade thing and called me a young man, which is quite good when you're 57, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, he was there for Slade. So he called me a young man, and he made a mess of. He was spelling was atrocious. I said, "Learn to spell, old man." And yeah, I may have been a kid, but they were a big influence on me, Slade. I said, and I actually spent 15 minutes on a train station having a great chat with Noddy Older. And he went, fair play to you. And he subscribed. So there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, give him as good as what he gave. And I think he saw it the way he was went. But to be called young man at 57, I quite like that.
That's a bit like Brian Clough, and he used to call everybody young man.
Young man.
Yeah.
As soon as you say that, I can see him on the TV. Young man.
Yeah, wagging his finger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was a
they're all
character
coming
in
in.
half.
All the way to Japan.
Hello,
Michael.
Hiya.
Good
Michael,
morning,
I'd
right,
like your new idea for a video. Yeah. I think it might be a bit different.
Good.
Do they do that
How
a
is-
lot then, hacking?
Huh?
Is it a big thing over in Japan then to hack into people's? Oh, you're lost.
Yeah, I'm lost.
You put a thing on the Facebook, I think, was it, about people hacking into vinyl hackers?
So what I meant by that is how as a Westerner, how you can crack the code of searching for records on Japanese auction sites and stores that aren't necessarily that don't provide English language interface on their sites. You follow?
Oh, yeah. I think I had a senior moment as well. So.
And so I just, when I lived in San Francisco, everything was a hack. It went from, understanding hacking computers. Well, San Franciscans, they take everything and they commercialize it. So by the time I left San Francisco, it was like taco hacks, how to make a good taco or, that kind of thing. Everything's a hack in San Francisco.
Yeah. So hack, just as a solution to a small problem, basically.
Exactly. And even like so it's like like repairing a sweater could be like a sweater hack. It's really kind of silly.
Sweater hacking, it doesn't ring, does it?
How's my sound, by the way?
Your sound is good, very good.
Good, Mr. Rob Walker. How are you, fella?
Hi, Michael. How are you doing?
Good. You've been so busy this week.
Why? Why do you say that?
Every time I turn around, you're either on camera or in the gallery over at Rachel's Ghost.
I was on Monday, but I've not been in the gallery that much this week because I've been working.
I saw you just a couple of sessions ago with getting frustrated with the Beatles talk,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, Rob, you should try showing a King Gizzard album. We might actually pay attention to it instead of ignoring you totally.
I showed a King Gizzard when I was on there because
I know, and they ignored you, didn't they?
one of them were waffling, and I showed a few sort of newish albums, but it got zero sort of interest from those.
Yeah, because it was released sometime after 1972.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened if you showed Beavis Frond on there, Mike. Do you think that'd go above their heads?
I'm not going on there. Yeah.
Beavis Frond.
Rob, you've been really good to this group because when you went on Rachel's Ghost, I saw you say this.
What did I can't read that. What does it
You
say?
said his channel is going through the stratosphere.
Oh, Stevie, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice.
Yeah. I've got to say these things because I know there's people watching, you see.
A lot of people think you're an ornery guy, but you're not. You're really a sweetheart.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
I'm misunderstood, I think.
Yeah. Well, very well.
Yeah, we know what you're all about, Rob Walker.
Yeah. Like you're a northern. You've got that northern.
There's plans afoot anyway for Rob Walker live stream.
Oh.
Whoa.
You gonna be doing that on your new phone, or you got a laptop, or what do you got?
I've got an iPad that I can use.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to happen.
You're going to need a little help with the administration, though, managing StreamYard on an iPad.
Yeah, I don't know about the logistics of it all.
Well, if you want to practice, I could practice with you.
Yeah, but when are we going to do the StreamYard?
We do it offline on StreamYard, on the record capabilities of StreamYard.
and it's like we do a video conference together, one-to-one. I can do it one-to-one with you and just talk you through, like, how to do different stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I could get a laptop, couldn't I? That'd probably make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't know how, on an iPad, you really kind of need a keyboard.
Yeah. You can you connect a keyboard to an iPad?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so maybe that might be an option.
Yeah, an advice from you need eyes, ears, hands when you host a stream. You've got to have eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, I think it'd be a formality me doing a live stream.
What do you mean a formality?
Easy.
I think so. I think you'll nail it.
I think you will as well, Rob. You've got that natural.
So
I
think I'm only messing. No, it's something I think I might get into maybe before the end of the year. Who knows?
I look forward to seeing you throwing people off your live stream.
It'd be nice to get a few people to come on.
I'll definitely come and support you. You've always supported.
Yeah.
We look after each other.
Yeah. So
a bit of solidarity from the UK.
Yeah.
You can't really do it off your iPhone, can you? No.
I wouldn't attempt it, to be quite honest.
I mean, you could as like but taking on guests and managing that, no.
Yeah.
But you could do a one-to-one with you could do a solo live stream.
Yeah. Anyway, it's something I'm looking at getting into, I think.
Good.
So it's 1968. I got my records, guys.
Shall we have a look at what Michael's been diving around in 1968?
I think you can.
I think you can. We'll make it big for this then.
Okay. So the first one I want to show is this guy, Jeff Beck.
Oh yeah.
Me and my mate were talking about that album today.
And this is Rod Stewart and Ron Wood, and this is 1968. They toured. They went to the States. They played this at the Fillmore auditoriums, and evidently Rod Stewart was too afraid to come out from behind the amps. And this was produced by Mickey Most, who also produced, oh shit, what's his name? He was at Glastonbury. I'm talking about. He almost sang for for Led Zeppelin. Who am I thinking? Terry Reid. Mickey Most produced Terry Reid. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. This is the first Jethro Tull album. Okay, which is the blues record. And it's got Mick Abrahams on it, who played with Jethro Tull once. They knocked heads, and then he went on to form Bloodwood Pig. And this is a Japanese pressing, very nice. Pick that up here. And no Obi strip. And for the Americans, I got this one. This is T-Bone Walker, which is a great blues record. This is really well recorded. This is recorded. They've even got a picture of the engineers up here, and just a beautiful Stormy Monday. He wrote Stormy Monday Blues. Did you know that? T-Bone Walker, which was like popularized by Allman Brothers and whatnot. Then I got this. This is Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which is the debut. This is Al Cooper. Oops, Al Cooper, right there. Remember that guy's name. He's not going to be with us too much longer. He's really getting on in years. And it was his band, and then they kicked him out. They kicked him out to get a Canadian on, David Lee Thomas, whatever his name was. Horrible. This is a great record. This record did something just like Tommy the Who. It had an overture at the beginning, right? And a lot of records in the late 60s did that. They would just do an overture that had like a compilation of all the songs encapsulated into one song. Then there's two here, 1968. And that is Electric Flag, that's Buddy Miles, and that's Electric Flag, A Long Time Coming. Both of these records were released in 1968. This one is my favorite of the two. This has got, both of these have got Michael Bloomfield on guitar and Harvey Brooks playing guitar. And Killing Floor, Grooving is Easy, Over Loving You. They performed this at the Monterey Pop Film Festival. There's some clips of it on YouTube. Just a great blues band, just meshing blues and rock. So two of these issued in 1968. Next one is Traffic. This is the U.S. pressing. This one had a book in it, a booklet. They don't do that anymore. This was produced by Jimmy Miller, who worked with the Rolling Stones, right? Jimmy Miller produced Beggar's Banquet, and also he worked them up through Exile on Main Street till he died from drugs.
Ollie.
Richie Havens, Mixed Bag. I don't love this one so much. It's the only Richie Havens record I have. This is on Verve Records. Look at that. Beautifully recorded. And then the last two, real quick, on CD. She's One of Yours, Dusty in Memphis, 1968. You know, this was like known as like an audiophile favorite record. I got it. You know, it's okay. They're actually, this has got bonus tracks on it. She's got a song on this called I Found a Way. Just marvelous. And last one is One of Yours, Chicken Shack. Can you see that okay? You know these guys?
Yes.
Just look, I just love this guy, Stan Webb. And it's got Christine McVie. And she writes some of her own songs, and I love it. 1968, that's me, from your friend Mike in Japan. You can make me smile now.
Yeah, I've seen a sort of version of Chicken Shack.
What's that?
I saw back in the 80s. I saw a lot of a band that was called Chicken Shack, and they played all the Chicken Shack numbers. I don't know how many of the originals were in it, but it wasn't too bad.
They were a revival band, a cover band.
Yeah, must have been. They were all right.
You guys have any of those records that they showed?
I've got the Stormy Weather on a CD, but I know it probably sounds better on the album. But you're right about the production on that. When I put it on, it sounds like they're playing in my lounge.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
really well recorded.
For that time, it's probably one of the best produced albums of the time.
I've got the Traffic album.
I love it.
Yeah, I've got most of Traffic's albums.
Yeah, me too. I think fantastic band.
I think is it Songs from the Big Pink by the band? I think that came out in 68.
Yeah,
It did.
That's a really good album.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy of that.
No, I haven't. I saw this when I listen to it. I have to rely on Spotify, but
yeah,
it's just great to put that album on it. So I think I did a classic album review on it way back. Yeah. I do really like that album.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a long time to actually sort of discover the band, and it was only when they played with Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I've recently.
And then I remember going to see The Last Waltz when it came out. Yeah, and since then I think they're great. Oh, you got stage fright there, haven't you? Brilliant album.
Yeah, I picked this up for a couple of quid about a month ago. So yeah, quite enjoyed it. So
it was produced by Todd Rundgren.
Yeah, well, it can't be. It's not. I didn't say it was perfect.
What is it? What is it with you British and Todd Rundgren? You don't like Todd Rundgren. Stevie doesn't like Todd Rundgren.
I like him.
Yeah, I think he's all right.
It's a gatefold.
Oh, I didn't know it was a gatefold.
Yeah.
Maybe the British copy was gatefold.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oops.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a lovely album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you got, Mike, from 68?
Right. Well, yeah, I picked out 3 or 4 here. Yeah. So let's have a go. So first one, I've got to show this.
Ooh.
There you go. Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
Yay!
Yeah. And of course, you know, Fire, number one. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the guy, the complete nutcase.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you'll all know that, you know, he'd appear on stage with a sort of hat on his head, metal sort of helmet, with ignited methanol. And, you know, one night he had a bit of an accident, you know, and it went all over him, but it didn't stop him.
No.
But, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. So Arthur Brown was born in Yorkshire, in Whitby, and his parents run a guest house. But when he was a little bit older, he came to Leeds, moved to Leeds, and he actually went to the same school as my kids went to. Oh. And not only that, he actually lived in this house. So I'm sitting where the great Arthur Brown has sat the past. So there you go. So this is a brilliant album, and it's produced by what's his name, Kit Lambert, who was manager of the Who, and Pete Townsend gets an associate producer credit on this. It's an absolutely brilliant album. It's psyche. It's a bit bluesy. So as well as having Fire on it, there's the great Screaming Jay Hawkins track, I Put a Spell on You, is on this. It's a great album. So that's one. So if Richard McCook's watching, look away now, because it's a jazz album. And I'm showing this because I just absolutely love the cover.
It looks like Aubrey Beardsley.
It's Gabuz Arbor and Dreams. I mean, it's such a 1960s cover, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know, he's a guitarist, and I absolutely love this album. There's this one, and he had another album out in '68 as well called Bacchanal, which is just as good, but the cover's not as good. Then I've got this one. This was a Record Store Day release, and it's a great Dana Gillespie and Foolish Seasons. Now, this was an album that was released in the States in 1968, but it didn't get a UK release. And it was just like 2 years ago, I think, it was a Record Store Day release in the UK, first time on vinyl over here. You know, I just had to have it. I think she's absolutely brilliant.
Is it folk oriented?
Sorry?
Is it folky?
It's sort of folky. It's very 60s. You know, it's a bit folky, a bit sort of beat. You know, it's a lovely record. But yeah, it's definitely on the folky side. And I think in the comments somebody mentioned this album.
Yes, it came in a can.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a great album.
Nut Gun Flake. Now, the B side of this album is like a little story, and it's narrated by Stanley Unwin.
Who's that?
And I think people in the UK will know who Stanley Unwin was. He had his own language called Unwinese, which was sort of like kind of a kind of nonsense language, but you get the gist of it.
Of him when he can do it when he's drunk. I don't know if he can do it when he's sober.
Yeah, probably. But you know the B side of this album starts with him narrating the story, and he says, "Are you sitting comfortable to swear on your body? Then I'll begin." You know, and it goes on from there. Now this divides people. I think some people think it's just bloody irritating. And other people like it. I really love it because I was sort of brought up with Stanley Unwin. He was also in a Jerry Anderson series called The Secret Service.
Yes.
And he was a priest, Father Stanley Unwin.
Yeah. And
he baffled the baddies with his nonsense language. So that's what I had to show. So four albums from 1968.
Didn't that come in some sort of a different packaging, Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, when it first came out? Didn't it come in like a metal box, like Pill's metal box?
It wasn't a metal box. It was just a sort of round. Yeah. So this is a facsimile of the original.
So how did the record stay in that circle? How did they, without falling out?
I think it had a sort of like a plastic bag with it, but it kind of opens out. I'll show you. Yeah.
Let's see. Can you hold it close to the camp? Can you make him big again?
We can
Yeah.
make it.
So there you go. So
Wow! Wow!
There
Look
you
at that
go.
packaging.
yeah, and then
Wow.
on the other side you've got
That's really
pictures of the
fragile.
band and various bits and pieces.
Really
So yeah,
fragile.
I mean the originals go for silly money. So
What kind of silly?
yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but pretty bad. So there you go. That's my 1968.
Yeah,
Very nice.
going on about Stanley Unwin, I've got a story to tell you about him. My friend of Dave and I's, Matt, he used to do part-time undertaking, and he was his company did Stanley's funeral, and the eulogy was done by Dick Davidson, and he did it just like Stanley would have done it.
Oh, lovely.
Our mate Matt said it was a privilege just to sit and listen to them, stand at the back listening to Jim. He says, I've never been to a funeral when people were rolling around in the aisle. But everyone loved that he delivered it just like Stanley. Because Stanley Unwin lived in Daventry. He was from Daventry area, which is just a road from us. So yeah, he's buried up there. But he was just, it was the tickety boom ding dang doodles, and he was in a Carry On film as well, wasn't he? Carry on up your Carry On your convenience or something.
Carry on regardless.
Carry on rely.
Oh right, yeah.
And apparently Kenny Williams was able to translate. Oh, I know what he's saying.
Yeah,
Right.
he was the owner of the property,
Yeah.
and he wanted them to come in and sort of clean up and whatnot, and they ended up knocking the place down. Oh, marvelous,
What did he say? Marvelly Dinkum.
Marveloso or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those you Americans, just go in YouTube, put Stanley Unwin, and
Yeah.
Rob,
Yeah, one of a kind. One of a kind.
Rob, are you okay?
Hey, Michael, I've been busy pricing up flights to Seattle.
You have.
I've been invited. I had to go and stay with Mazzy.
Really? Really?
So I don't know whether he's serious, but I'm going to take him up on it. So might be a knock on the door at some time in September next year, and it'll be me.
Have you ever been to the United
Yeah.
States?
And he'll say, who the freaking hell are you?
Say again, Mike.
And he'll say, who the freaking hell are you?
No, yeah. No, I've never been to America, so.
Oh, well, that'd be nice. It's got, it's Seattle's cold and wet, and be similar to to your country.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Well, that'll be nice, and maybe you can travel a little bit while you're there.
I'll be able to do a whack-a-mole.
yeah, whack-a-mole in that room.
Yeah,
That'll be.
yeah. So
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
it is nice. It is nice, isn't it? I've not invited him over here, but he said I asked when I was on. I asked whether they consider going to, Den Bosch, the Dutch record fair that was last weekend.
Yeah.
But Mazzy said that he'd like to go to London. If there was a big fair on there. So I mean, I can stay in London because my son's there. So maybe he might come over. I like it when these huge stars. It's a little bit like, Miley Cyrus coming over to the UK, isn't it, Mazzy? With his entourage.
All right. So who's the huge star he's bringing with him then?
We're going to have to issue a press release for that one.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him live coming on this stream if he's in the
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be a regular on my stream.
I think so. He's a regular on everybody's stream.
Well, he don't come on here, does he? But he's,
He's
this is
watching.
probably a little bit low for him.
But he does watch. He does
He's not been
watch.
on camera though, has he?
Huh?
He's not been on camera here.
No, he hasn't been on camera yet.
Yeah.
Only Rachel and Concert Buddy was here at your inauguration stream, right?
Who's the biggest, Ian? Who's the biggest star that you've had on your stream?
Oh, I'd say I don't know really because I don't say that we're all good. I mean, you're a big name in the VC. Michael's got a good reputation in the VC.
Hang on a minute.
Richard McCook, Rachel probably.
Yeah, Rachel, isn't it? Because Rachel came on, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
We had Elliot for the first time, which was great.
That was a bad
That's right, yeah.
Rachel came on.
Yeah, she came on. She came after me like a Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah, she's a pussycat. You don't want to get upset about her.
I think that has had 600 and something views. That one.
Yeah.
I think it.
I do like Elliot Cruz. He's like the voice of reason, isn't he? You can tell he's well educated and well-rounded human being.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time for that guy.
Yeah, he was brilliant last week. He really made a good contribution, and he was.
I thought he was
really
shocking
good.
on here, but he was good on Rachel's.
I concur.
Yeah, he's great. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's great.
I went shopping yesterday.
Say again.
I went record shopping yesterday.
Are you going to show us what you bought, Michael?
I'd like to.
Yes.
Should we let him?
Yeah.
We'll let him.
Go on.
Now,
Whoa!
this is Japanese. Japanese pressing. Got the Obi. One of yours, Adam and the Ants.
Yeah.
Mint condition.
Nice.
$11 US.
That's not bad, is it?
No, I've
Not
got
bad
a
at all.
copy of that.
And I got another British record. I got this.
Hey, yeah.
And this is also a Japanese pressing.
Yeah.
And these things come with lyrics. They come with an insert.
Virgin, isn't it, that?
Huh?
It's Virgin.
It is Virgin, yes. It is Virgin. Comes in Japanese, look at that. And it was, I was going to get, I was looking at some of my I almost got the Terry Reid debut. No, Bang Bang is Terry Reid, but it had all this mold on it. In Japan, when records have been sitting around for 50 years, they get kind of a mold on them. And it lowers the value. They're hard to sell if you get them. So I kind of passed, but it was in mint condition. And it was really funny in this store. It's cash only, and he won't allow me to take any photographs or videos. So I don't know what's going on there. I think it's kind of like under the table in terms of the income. Does that happen a lot in the UK? People are cash only for a store.
It can be if it's one of these, a smaller sort of operation.
Yeah.
That and car boot sales.
Yeah,
The other thing
car boot sales, yeah.
This Adam and the Ants, before I forget, it's got this insert. I don't know if the British.
No,
My version hasn't got.
No,
that's not.
I brought mine when it come out, and it's just got a black sleeve, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that, Michael.
Yeah, that's all.
That's excellent.
That's all the bonus, Michael.
Yeah. I just got those two. I'm kind of I'm a bit skint right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make me fall now.
Mike, have you seen Ben Rankin's just uploaded a video.
Yeah, I commented on it. I'm going to have a go at that. It'll make a change to have some new music sort of shown on the VC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to have a go. Yeah.
Does he want us to show our 5 favourite albums from the last 5 years, is it?
Our favourite album from each of the last 5 years. And then he said that it's got to be properly sort of new music, so the bands can't have been going for more than 10 years.
Yeah, that rules Richard McCook out then, doesn't it?
Yeah. But so no Hackney Diamonds. You know, I mean not that anyone in their right mind would want to buy that anyway, but
anyone that's got learning difficulties.
It's, you know, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand at all. But anyway, you know, I mean, I can remember sort of like when I was sort of first really into music, really buying records in about 1972.
Yeah,
Beatles and the Stones were sort of old hat then.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, me. It's like,
yeah,
I just don't understand it.
Yeah, but Anyway, I'm going to have a go at Ben's thread. I think it's quite good.
The only problem with that for me is I've been doing videos for 4 or 5 years, and at the end of every year, I tend to do like my favourite albums. So I've already sort of said what my favourite albums are. Having said that, my views changed a little bit, so it might be interesting to sort of revisit the years and maybe say, actually, this is my favourite after 3 or 4 years, sort of digesting the album. Because that can happen sometimes, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I was doing the same. So after I watched Ben's video, I was sort of having a look and having a think.
Yeah.
And there are so many albums. There's quite a few from most of the years where I could sort of pass them off as my favourite, and I wouldn't be lying to myself. Oh yeah.
What about this album, Mike? Do you know this one?
What?
Who is that?
Oh, I don't know it, but the cover's kind of familiar. So tell me about it.
So it's a guy, Far Caspian is what the band's called. But it's actually just one guy called Joel Johnson. And he's Irish, but I think this was recorded in Leeds.
Oh, right.
That's why I wondered whether you knew about it. So
No.
So this is a new album this year. So you'll never see this on Rachel's stream. This has been released this year.
Right.
Is his debut record? Brother?
No, second. So it's like lo-fi. It's right up your alley, Mike. I think you probably enjoy it.
Well, I'm just having a look.
The Last Remaining Light's probably my favourite track.
Yeah.
So my sort of mechanism for finding new music, it might be kind of a little bit old hat, but I don't really use the VC for that. Occasionally I will. But a lot of people sort of criticise Pitchfork. But what I do is probably every couple of months, I'll go through the Pitchfork list and see if there's anything on there that appeals to me. And through doing that, I've discovered a lot of sort of new music. And that's where I discovered this. So,
yeah.
So
right. So it's on the.
See what you think.
It's on the Jumbo Records website. You can't see that.
Right.
So I'll give it a listen, Rob.
I think you'll like it, Mike.
Yeah. So you say it's a bit lo-fi then.
Lo-fi, yeah, but I'm trying to think. It's got maybe a little bit of a because I bought that, and also I'm waiting for. Do you know the Beach Fossils?
Yeah.
So the Beach Fossils are from New York, aren't they? And the 4th album's called Bunny. That came out this year. And that's got a little bit of a sort of teenage fan club.
Right.
I can't remember whether it's that one or this one's got a bit of a wedding present guitar presence to it as well.
Yeah.
But I would imagine it's, right up your alley.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll show you something I picked up from Manchester then.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. So this is Record Fair.
What were you doing in Manchester then?
No, it wasn't in Manchester.
Oh, John Cooper. I've got that one. Yeah.
John Cooper Clarke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Picked up the Leeds Record Fair a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, it's almost the greatest hits. This one.
Yeah. Has that got?
Because you got and it's what?
I Married a Monster from Outer Space.
That's the first track, and then you've got I Don't Want to Be Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Valley
like
of
Rob
the Lost
Walker's
Women.
theme song.
36 Hours. The It Man. Then Kung Fu International.
Yeah.
Which is about being beaten up outside a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Twat, which is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, Twat's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. And then there's Majorca, as he says.
Yeah.
Bronze Adonis, which is a sort of diatribe against keeping fit, basically. Gimmicks, and then Beasley Street.
Well, I went.
And this is
sorry.
And this is one of his sort of musical ones. So it's The Invisible Girls.
Yeah, Beasley Street's good.
Yeah. This is an absolutely brilliant album.
Have you seen him live?
It's what?
Have you seen him live?
I have. I've seen him live quite a few times because, back in the day, if you went to a gig, from about 1978 up to about 82, 83, there would always be a punk poet on the bill.
Yeah.
So there'd be, if you're lucky, it was John Cooper Clarke or Attila the Stockbroker, or Porky the Poet. That's another one.
Attila the Stockbroker?
Attila the Stockbroker, yeah.
Oh, that's marvelous.
Yeah. What was that comment? What was that comment, look?
This is from not from me. This is from Dave.
Every time you hold a record up, the reflection.
I know it. So, yeah, because I'm reflecting the light back onto the screen. Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
No, it's fun. It's great.
But anyway, I thought I'd show that as Rob's up tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've said before, my first ever concert was Elvis Costello, and he was supported by Richard Hell and the Voidoids and John Cooper Clarke.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what you used to get. Oh, actually, I saw an absolutely brilliant documentary from 1977 on YouTube today. It just sort of happened to come up.
Yeah.
And it was from a BBC series, and it was called Brass Tacks. And Brass Tacks was one of these programs, and it's sort of like where they'd have people in and they'd sort of discuss the sort of topic of the day. And the subject in 1977 was punk rock. And basically, is it destroying the whole fabric of society?
Yeah.
And it was absolutely brilliant. So, but you get people on it, like Pete Shelley was on it, but it was just like there's this guy, and it just happens to be called Pete Shelley. There was no, there was nothing at all about him.
Yeah.
I mean, John Peel was on, and they didn't really give him much of a chance. Instead, I mean, they had quite a nice sort of documentary to start with, and they were talking to punks in Manchester.
Yeah.
And that was really good. But then they went to the studio, and there were various sort of town councillors.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all sort of about 80 years old. And they banned punk rock from council premises. So you couldn't see punk rock in Newcastle on council premises. There was a guy down in London that was looking to ban punk rock from London. So best of luck with that. But the best guest was this vicar or whatever he was, some sort of priest, right? And his take on the whole thing is that sort of, these punks are not really sort of like the evil people that they purport to be. All they need is to take Jesus Christ into their hearts, and everything will be fine. You know, that's the answer to everything. It's an absolutely brilliant documentary because it's sort of it's of its day. And I can remember the sort of moral panic. You know, when the Pistols were on Bill Grundy, you know, it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you talk about YouTube. I've watched something you'll be interested in, Mike. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a PJ Harvey Tiny Desk concert.
Oh, right.
Cool. And it's her playing an acoustic guitar like in this, like a record shop. All
right, yeah, I've seen a few of the Tiny Desk videos, but I've not seen that. I'll look it up. Cheers.
Yeah, it's it looks. I watched it, pretty good, and she sounds great. You know, we thought the last album was a little bit
disappointing.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. But this is great. She's on form, and she's looking so good.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a few of the Tiny Desk ones. I mean, I saw the most recent one I saw was Aldous Harding, the New Zealand singer. She was absolutely brilliant. And I mean, KEXP, you know, they're really good up in Seattle. But they stream their stuff on YouTube, and they get some absolutely brilliant bands.
Yeah, I was watching a thing. It's called Live at Daryl's House, which is Daryl's.
Oh, I love that show. Love that show.
It's terrific. There's some of the
shut up, Rob. You know, he had Robert Fripp on, and they were doing Daryl Hall's Sacred Songs. Oh, stop it! Now, just I'm only talking about the record that Robert Fripp produced. Okay. What? Do you have something going on in your neck that you need to work out the muscles in your neck? Is that what's going on? Maybe you need like a hot compress on your neck. You know?
Yeah.
I worry about you. Anyhow, as I was saying before I was interrupted by that. So Robert Fripp just did a session with Daryl Hall, and they did Babs and Babs, and you have to see it. It's the best. It's a great song. I mean, that was 3 records that Fripp did. He did Gabriel's record, he did that one, and he did Exposure. And Fripp's, Daryl Hall's wasn't released by the record companies. Did you know that story?
No.
Robert Fripp produced Sacred Songs. The record company said, this is not commercial. This is not bubblegum. It's not for the teenagers. They refused to release it. So Fripp and Daryl Hall took the record around to radio stations all in New York, and the radio stations played it, and the people loved it, and they put pressure on the record company to release the record.
Yeah. They do a version of Heroes, don't they? And
It's not so good. Not so good.
No, you've got Robert just holding the note, just like that, doing nothing else. Oh, no. There's some great ones. I watched the one they have Billy Gibbons. The one with Cheap Trick is fantastic.
And the guy from Squeeze. The guy from Squeeze.
It's just a lot of fun. So if you like just general, Michael recommends it, and I recommend it.
Yeah, and Rob Walker recommends it too.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Absolute garbage.
Rob, is there something you want to recommend today?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that? Okay, there you go.
Chris Red Kid talks says, forget sending Rob to Seattle. Let's send him to Japan.
What is that? You've shown that before. The Camel, I've seen that.
Yeah, but this is a new album, and not enough people are buying it. So.
Oh, I see. You're shilling.
This could be my album of the year.
Ooh.
But, yeah, check out Reverend of the Makers. Really. But I've got loads of stuff. I've got some here that you'll like. Because it's old. It's old like you.
I love that record.
Fantastic.
I love that record, Rob.
Yeah, you like this one?
I do. James Dewar is a great singer.
Yeah.
I love that record.
That's one of the best inlaid album covers. That is, I just love that.
Yeah, I just bought this for the cover. I'm really enjoying it.
The first song on the track one on side one, the touch of your loving hand, boy, that is sound production.
Yeah, I'll give this a listen. Like, in fact, I'll probably give it a listen in about 5 minutes because this has run its course, hasn't it?
Anyway, have you heard the new Madness album?
No, I give up on Madness about 25 years ago.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I'm the same. You know, I think the best years are behind them.
Yeah, about 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's I'm reviewing it next week, and I'm struggling with it. I've listened to it about 5 times, and I've only listened all the way through twice.
Is it a brand new studio album?
It is, yes.
And what is it? Is it more sort of melancholy?
It's a concept album.
Yeah, I can believe that. So what's the concept?
Oh, I can't get into it. I really can't. It's split into 3 bits, and it's about some guy, and
Is it coming out? Did it come out last week or?
It came out last week. Yeah.
Is Nick watching? Has he got it? Is he enjoying it?
I know. I saw a video that he was going to order it or something, but
yeah.
I think
he's definitely going to get it, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Madness are on the. We're just turning out what we did.
I've said before, and I'll stand by this.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That anybody over 50 shouldn't make any music. So I'll stand by that. So
should not.
My favourite artist, Paul Weller, anything he's done after 50, I can live without it. So I think when you get to 50, you're not allowed to release any music. That's in my world. But we'll continue buying Pretenders albums, Cat Stevens albums, Rolling Stones albums. You know, they've got cobwebs on them when you buy them.
Yeah, they should just make tequila or something like Sammy Hagar and other people. You know, just like go into business, do something else. There's other things to do in this life.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, this is one of the issues I have with the VC is that, you know, people say, "Oh, I've got this great new album," and you say it's by some geriatric, you know, and I mean, I can say that because I'm one myself, you know, but you know, it's just, I think it's a bit sad, really, because there's so much really brilliant new music out there.
Yeah, right. But so the vinyl community is about people buying vinyl records, and that's what people in the vinyl community do. There's no rule that you have to buy music by new artists. It is more interesting if you get introduced to new music, but not everybody wants to hear new music.
No,
quite happy listening to artists that they're familiar with. Personally, I don't really understand that.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I don't know if I'm right in sort of, you know, thinking this way, but you know, I think back in the day, you know, before the internet and everything, American radio stations, you'd have a radio station. It would play the music that you like. So it might be a sort of, you know, heavy metal station or prog station or whatever. And I just think that's really sad because you don't know what you like until you hear it, do you?
No.
So if you decide, oh yeah, I really like metal, and all you listen to is metal, then you're kind of reaffirming that you like that.
No, but it's like I said before, if you want to hear new music, really, you've got to go and make the effort, haven't you? So you've got to have that in you that you want to discover something. And for every one album that you discover that you really like, there's probably 20 or 30 that I'll stream. But I never just listen to one track. I'll always listen to 2, 3, maybe 4 tracks.
Yeah.
And then I'll think, right, that deserves sort of further investigation. And then further down the line, after maybe a month or two, you might get that you can find 2 or 3 really good albums that before that you'd never even heard of the artist before.
Yeah.
But to me, that's fun doing that.
Sure.
Especially,
It's always your discovery, isn't it? You know what I mean. What's the point of I think sometimes for God's sake, why are you buying the same album over and over again?
Well,
why don't you use that money to buy something different?
I've got 6 copies of Zenyatta Mandata, so I can't really.
Yes, I know you have. Yeah, yeah. That's just an aberration, though, isn't it, Rob?
That Dave only cost me about £6 for 6.
Yes,
like Stevie.
You were wrong.
Stevie, he's another one. He's got issues, hasn't he? I think he's taking medication for his quadrophenia obsession.
So that's good. That's one of my New Year resolutions. Now I'm going to get my hi-fi in the January sales. I've decided.
Yeah.
And the albums I buy are not going to be by people that I've got.
Right.
Okay, I brought that ELO last week.
Yeah.
Because it's ELO. But I mean, it's Mike that started me. I've not got any Beavis Frond, so that's different for me. I know it's old, but it's different. I've not got anything by them. So, but I'm going to also look at the newer bands, some of the new rock bands.
Ian, you've got to get King Gizzard, haven't you?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some King Gizzard on album.
Yeah, that'll be brilliant.
I know which ones. Going to get one of all from all their sort of genres. I mean, I love the new album.
Yeah, I need to dig into that one.
Yeah, it's technically brilliant.
Just go and get another beer.
Oh, okay. Go. So I have one rule, okay? And that is, if I'm going to buy a record, if I'm going to hold on to it, I want that record to be like every song on it's great, right? Start to finish. I mean, I like to play records all the way through. And like, for example, this record, I'm currently trying to sell it. And because, I mean, even though it's got one fantastic song on it, it's not worth... This is the
Motors.
Huh?
Not the Motors.
Just the Motors.
That's the Motors. Yeah, Love and Loneliness. Power pop song.
What's the best track? Forget About You. Is that on it?
No, Love and Loneliness is the only good song on it. And it's a cutout. See, that's why I can't sell. Look, the Japanese don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't even sell it for $8.
Yeah, I mean, the Motors, they're a bit of a footnote, weren't they? They were never...
No.
And never a band.
James Griffiths really likes the Motors.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Can't be helped, can it?
We all have our misfortunes.
Yeah, we can't be perfect.
But then again, I like status quo, don't I?
Yes, but we don't hold that against you.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they need to pack up.
Yeah. It's like...
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. But...
I got a question for you guys. How much do you spend for an individual record? Okay, well, let me put it this way: used records. What do you guys? What's a reasonable spend so that your other half is not giving you stink eye?
Don't have that problem. I can.
Got another.
Yeah,
but
neither do
I. Depends what it is, Michael. If it's something that I've really been looking for,
sure,
and it's pretty rare. I mean, I would pay up to £50.
Yeah,
but that would be on a very sort of like rare occasion. But you know when you go to record fairs and some of the stalls, they've got the sort of the records on display sort of behind them.
Yeah.
And it's usually like 7-inch singles that are about £60 each.
Yeah.
And albums, usually 60s, 70s sort of psych albums, for hundreds of quid. And I mean, I was sort of record fair before last. I picked up a Cramps EP, and the guy said, he said, I've got some Cramps bootlegs. He said, if you fancy them, and he picked these 2 records up. One was £250, and the other one was a bargain, 175.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I could never pay that.
No.
I mean, I saw a copy of Metal Box for 140 quid last time, and I was thinking, should I, shouldn't I? And I decided, no, I really shouldn't.
Metal box goes for a lot more here.
Let me get my metal box just to show.
Oh, here we go.
The thing is about the Cramps and a lot of other punk bands, like they didn't press that many copies, right? That's why they're so friggin' expensive.
Yeah. That box is in pretty good condition.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, the one I saw was quite, sort of tarnished. It was, yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, well, don't rub it in, Rob.
Yeah.
It's not oxidized at all.
No, not really. It's not too bad. That was 85. That.
It's like you're saying about tin box. When Status Quo released a compilation called From the Makers Off, they did it in a box set and they did it in a tin like Rob's just showed. Now, when I went to this last record fair I went to, they had the box set for a tenner, and he had the tin. I said, how much for the tin? And he went 190 quid.
On your bike, bye-bye.
I says, why? I said, I'm not being funny, but you're not going to get 190 quid for that. But it's rare. I said, not really. It's not rare. Loads of people have got it. I said,
So these records, they're like it's become like the world of fine art prints, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that was my realization with all the punk stuff, is that they didn't have a lot of money in the 70s and the 80s when they pressed these records. So there's just not a lot of them out in production, and that's why they're fetching prices like $500. It's not because they're sonically very good or special. It's just there's just not a lot of them. So we're in the realm of scam collecting and fine art prints. It's weird.
I watched the video. I watched the video earlier today. Can't remember the guy's name. I'll find it and I'll get back to you in a second. Sorry, I've said that, but I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I said to this guy, I says, when this came out in 1982.
What record?
From the Makers Of. The standard box set, 3, it says, was $4.99. If you wanted the tin, it was $7.99. So how can you justify that? I says, I'd pay you 30 quid for that tin today. And when I got home, I looked in Record Collector, right? And the most expensive I saw in that was 50 quid. I just don't understand how some of these people think that they can try.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. I said, you won't sell that today, not at that price.
Well, asking is one thing, getting is another. And that's the whole thing with this is people talk about like what a record's worth, but they never talk about that they sell it at 500 or 1,000 or 5. You never hear that story. You only hear about what the value is. You know.
Yeah, it's all a bit arbitrary. It's only worth what somebody's prepared to pay, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this channel is called Me, Myself, and My Vinyl. It's called.
Okay. Okay, I'll look it up after this.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, got that.
It's called Kevin. Me, Myself, and My Vinyl. He's only got 238 subscribers. He's been around for a few years. Anyway, he's uploaded a video about 7 hours ago, and he don't know what to do. He's got too many records, so he's out of control. His collection's out of control. So he's just saying that he's buying records, but he's not listening to what he's buying.
Yeah.
He's building up. He's got young children. But it's like the addictive part of buying records. It is a little bit addictive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. It's what
Michael
Michael was just saying. You know, you're in the realms of stamp collecting and fine art. It's just, you know, the aim is just to possess them.
You're right.
You know, and nothing else matters. Yeah.
But it's one of them. You buy.
I just couldn't do that.
It's a bubble, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think it's a bubble.
Yeah, because I like buying records. So I like buying like that, like these new records. So I like buying those.
Yeah.
But then I like getting records for £1 or £2 as well.
Sure. I'm the same way.
Classic
Yeah.
records. But then I like to take a chance on blind buys or 12 inches.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you can easily have bought 50 albums in a couple of weeks. You know,
but if you're not listening to them, if you're not taking the time to listen to them, then you don't know how to inform your collection with your next person.
I know.
Right? And that's what's so important about this whole thing. You know?
It's madness.
Yeah, I know that, but I could have made the same video, really.
No.
I could make the same video.
Yeah, I mean, my strategy with record fairs is like I was going there, and I always have an idea of the sort of stuff that I'd quite like.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always pick up, and that's Jump Hill session EPs. If I see them, I pick them up.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I always like to go to the stalls that have got the sort of 3 albums for a tenner sort of box.
Sure.
And I love that. And you can pick up some stuff, you know, that is just, you know, it's nostalgia really, you know, rather than anything else.
For me, it's debut. I'll pick up debut records because for me, if they're going to be worth it, if they're worth their salt as an artist, they got to bring it with their debut record. And I really, you know, sure, there's some artists where their debut record was crap, and you know afterwards they did something even better. But I'll sit there and I'll call up like All Music and I'll read the reviews and I'll make a decision. That's kind of why I picked up these 2 records that I did yesterday. You know, I mean, you know, I was never an Adam Ant fan when I was younger, but I'm ready to take them on now because actually I'm really curious about the recording quality and the sound quality of that type of music right now.
Yeah. I think that Adam Ant album is a, you know, a punk rocker's guilty pleasure really.
Yeah.
You know, because you know by that time, you know, I mean, that's where he got his fame. You know, as a Dandy Highwayman, as Prince Charming, you know, that was the thing that gave him commercial success. But you know, if you listen to, you know, the debut album, you know, Dirt Wears White Socks, completely different.
Yeah, I mean,
very somewhat. I mean, the Kings of the Wild Frontiers are more commercial, but there are some really good songs on that White Sox album that no one remembers now.
No.
And then he changed again for the Prince Charming. It was all horns and glam and what have you. But I mean, Kings of the Wild Frontier has got some great tracks on it. The Jolly Roger, I love that. Right. Dog Eat Dog, you know, they're punk songs with double drums.
Yeah.
And Marco Bellini was a great guitar player.
Yeah.
He played.
I mean, this was his swan song really as a punk rocker.
Deutsche Girls, yeah.
Deutsche Girls, and it's got Plastic Surgery on the B side, and you know this wasn't meant to be a single, but it was written for, you know, Derek Jarman's Jubilee.
Yeah.
And you know, people liked it, but you know, I think this was it. After this, you know, he stopped being a punk really.
Yeah.
But you know, nothing wrong with that because you know he got his success, didn't he?
Yeah.
He deserved it.
He was huge back in the day, though, wasn't he? You know.
Oh yeah.
Everybody seemed to like him. I mean, 1980, I was what? What was it? Coming up 12, 13. And music was a big, and everyone that liked rock and punk, and we all seemed to attract to Adam and the Ants. I think for me, it's the double drum.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's a band, you know, and bubblegum rock. That's what I like. It's a bit bubblegum rock, them drums, and it was a sound that was just like Wizard, just a great sound.
Yeah.
My mate went to see him a couple of years ago when he played at our local concert hall. He said he was fantastic. He still goes out there. He's got 2 drums, so that it's just all the fun. Yeah, there's a man shaking his head. So you wouldn't have come and saw him if you were given free tickets, Rob?
It's fun. It's fun. That's what it is.
No,
Okay.
he's too old now. But getting back to trying to get inside the mind of a record collector, you know, I mean, we all, you know, we go to record fairs. We will have a budget. We will be disappointed if we don't spend our budget. So, I don't know what your strategy is. Is your strategy? I tend to think anything that's expensive will be there later. I'll look for the cheap things, and if I don't find anything, then I'll work my way to things that may be a little bit more expensive. That's my strategy. So what are your strategies when you're buying records?
Oh,
Well, I'm very sneaky sometimes. If I see something I like, I put it. If I find a gatefold and slip it in and put it in, go around the thing, and if I haven't come back with anything, I know exactly where it is. Pick it out and get it when I wanted. I used to do that.
I'll put stuff at the back if I'm interested, maybe as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I used to do that when I was younger. We'd take an album, I might get that, and we'd go and put it in somewhere totally oblivious to what it is. We'd go and put it in the children's section or something.
Yeah.
But I did that when I brought a record fair, David Gates' first solo album, the album that's got the Cowburst suite on, which is absolutely fantastic. He wanted 15 quid for it. And I says, I might buy this. And I went back and said, have you sold it yet? He went, no. He says, people are telling me, they don't want to pay for it. He said, I really want to get rid of it. He said, I've had it for ages and I want to get rid of it. So I says, I'll give you a tenner. He says, give me 11 quid and I'll sell it. And I went, done. See, that's what I like about record fairs.
Yeah.
When people want to sell something and they know, when they realise they're not going to sell it for what they wanted, they'll take an offer. And normally, you make an offer, they'll put a couple of quid on. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm so pleased. And it's in really good nick.
When you go to a record fair, they priced in that you're going to ask for a discount into their starting price. So it's all part of the game, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my strategy is that there are 2 stalls that I always go to. There's one guy who he's really reliable. Whenever I buy albums from him, that I always get a decent discount. If he says they're in excellent condition, they're in excellent condition. And I really appreciate that. There's this sort of trust. And then there's another store I go to where the guy has a lot of punk and new wave stuff. But then it depends what sort of mood I'm in. I think I mentioned this before. I'm starting to sort of build up my singles collection again.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff I'm looking for. But really, when I go in there, I'm like a kid in a sweet shop.
These guys who do
it can be a bit dangerous for the bank balance.
Yeah.
Sorry. These guys in the UK who do the record fairs, they don't have stores, do they? They're private dealers.
Some of them will have stores.
Yeah, some might have.
Probably maybe 30% might have a shop, but the majority, I'd say, don't have stores.
Yeah. They just go you know, they just do the rounds of the record fairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy that I know quite well, that he lives up in Thirsk, which is in North Yorkshire, you know, so it's about 40 miles from Leeds.
Right.
And he does Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle, and whatever. Oh, he told me this brilliant story about the Cramps, that he met Poison Ivy and Lux Interior sort of a number of years ago, because a mate of his had been promoting the gigs, and it was down in London, and they went back to this guy's flat to have a cup of tea. You know, you can imagine having a cup of tea with those two, and they got talking. They got talking, and they asked this guy Bill, said, "Oh, where are you from?" And he says, "I'm from Thirsk." He says, "You probably don't know it, but it's quite near York." So Poison Ivy says, "Oh yeah, we know York. We stayed in a hotel in York, and it used to be a children's hospital." And he said, "Yeah, I know that. I know the hotel you mean." And she said, "Yeah." She said it was really weird because in the night you could hear all the dead babies screaming.
God.
Yeah.
Shock value.
Well, what do you expect from Poison Ivy?
Yeah, that was Well, he said that Lux was sort of like, you know, in another dimension, you know, right from the start. But she seemed quite sane until she came up with
Yeah.
with his
Are you a
story.
big?
I've
Are you
never
a big
heard the
Cramps
Cramps.
collector?
I've never heard the Cramps ever.
Oh, you don't know what
Really?
No, I haven't.
They're quite sort of rock and roll, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rockabilly, psychobilly.
Yeah.
They're psychobilly meets a punk rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of like a joke band, right?
Yeah. Well, the people who like him on the VC are a bit of a joke, aren't they?
Well, I think Mike likes them. So, Mike, are you a Cramps completist?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, I'm only recently started sort of paying a lot of attention to their stuff, you know, and I'm sort of picking up stuff as I go
They
along.
never had any sort of commercial success in the UK, did they, Mike?
No, not at all. Not at
No.
all. You know, they passed us by, really, you know, and
Yeah. I always knew the name, and I was you know, quite like the visual side of the sleeves. But, you know, they never had any airplay on radio or anything.
Yeah, they were the sort of band that you think, I'd like to go and see them.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really that interested in actually buying their records at the time.
No.
Have you ever seen the videos where where Lux Interior fillets his microphone on stage? That was a big part of his. That was a big part of his. Huh?
Never listened to them. I've never seen them at all.
Okay.
You need to watch them, Rob.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit closed-minded, don't you think, Rob? Just a little bit.
Yeah. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Why is Mike stripping off?
Because
get used to it.
Because essential heating's been on for ages. And,
what about Simon? What's your strategy record buying, Simon?
Well, I'm not one of these people who goes in and like holds onto the record, you know, because I think you're bound to probably find something else a little bit later once you start going through the records. And you can then end up with like a pile of records in your hand, and you're going to be a bit kind of, oh, what do I buy? You know, do I buy the one? Do I buy the, you know? So I don't do that. If I was to buy a record, I have to visually see it, and in my mind thinking, I'm buying that. That's coming with me. And then, you know, I'll probably flick through a few more, and I'll buy it because I know if I hang around for too long, I'm going to see something else. You know, I have to really want it quite badly to pick it out there and go pay for it.
Can you imagine if Rob Walker was a dealer at a record fair?
Say again.
Can you imagine if Rob Walker was a dealer at a record fair and somebody walked up to him with a big basket of records and said, I'm only going to take 2 of these today? And Rob would go to them, what about the rest of them? You going to put them back? Put them back in the bins. What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
Thing is, if they were cheap records, if they're like £1 or £2, I would sort of gather them all up. You know, the ones I was interested in. You know, I might not desperately want them, but I might have some kind of interest in them. Let's say they were like in mint condition or something like that. You know.
When I go when I look for singles, I take a little. I've got a little bag like a rack thing, and I just put them in there, and then go to the dealer, and he goes, "He says, I like this." Having them, you know, trying to hold them and flick through. I just put them in the thing. You know, these are the 50p. This is always in the 50p bargain bucket.
That's it. Yeah, but that's pretty good.
I pick up great singles. I can buy 30 singles.
I like to buy the bargain. I like to get something that.
Stop it, you two.
How many records have you bought this year? Go round the panel.
Oh.
None.
No.
Who's counting?
I'm going to give a estimate. I reckon I bought 300 albums.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm probably close to that, if not more.
And I've shown about 20 of them on my channel.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to show everything, do you?
I don't really want to show what I buy on my channel. I just do videos.
Yeah.
Generally, I'll just like to do a video with an idea.
Yeah.
I've got a bit fed up of doing Vinyl Finds videos.
I'll probably got 20 records for me. And then maybe 100 CDs.
Yeah, you bought a lot of CDs.
Yeah.
Ask me the same question next year.
Yeah, that'll be.
Oh yeah.
That may be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going into town tomorrow, so
yeah.
I'm going to this guy that the most unique record shop in Northampton. That you get a cup of tea, you walk in, and the first thing you get offered is a cup of tea.
Nice.
And you sit there. Sometimes you sit there.
Actually, there's one thing. Yeah. There's one thing about record fair, and saying about the 3 for a tenner sort of bin. Sort of things happen when you picked out 5 albums.
Yeah.
And you want the 6th.
Yeah.
But I ended up with a Kid Creole the Coconuts album.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
How do you cope with having so many records?
I don't cope.
Where do you put them?
I put them in my galaxies or whatever they're called.
I think this year I'm going to have to start finding new ways of storing albums.
I've got about 40 cubes. That's easily 20 cubes too many, really.
How many records have you guys sold this year to fund your record buying habit?
None. I haven't sold a
Seriously?
record. I haven't sold a record for 30 years.
I constantly sell them. Constantly.
I might have sold a couple on eBay, a Beck album, but I don't sell records. I find that difficult to do. I'm going to have to do it soon before I pass away.
Well, what about the records in your collection that you hate?
Oh, there's a few hundred of them.
So you should sell them.
No one's going to buy them. I'll show you a record I hate. Let me get it.
Okay, you do that. Has anyone broken the news to Simon? What news? What's he talking about?
Battle Royale result.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right. Gutting. Ugh. I'm sorry, Simon.
Yeah. Yeah, you're unlucky, mate.
No, you unfortunately got slaughtered. Although, well, I say that it was less than 20 votes difference, but it was the largest vote we've had, 95 votes.
Okay.
Gutting.
Yeah. It's 57-38.
Whatever the vote is, my opinion remains the same. So it's whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Here we go.
Stuff,
Here we
mate.
go. Here we go. I bet what's the first one?
Oh,
Simon
right.
and Garfunkel or Leonard Cohen?
Right.
Right, I've got
Here we go.
three records here that I absolutely hate.
Good man.
So I absolutely hate this.
Ugh, me too.
Hey, I'm with you on that. I've got a copy of that, and I hate it now.
So I got this because I was at a tip about 10 years ago, and there was a box of records. Honestly, there was a box of records, and I took the box, and this was in there. So people have this as like the favorite album of the year and stuff. Is it on CBS? No.
Yeah.
No,
It was-
Warner Brothers.
It was absolutely huge, though, at the time.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
I've
is.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not
And then
played
another
it.
one. I found this for £1. And
Yeah.
it's found too much. I absolutely hate this.
Yeah. That's a popular
cannot stand
record,
it.
Rob. That's a popular
Why have
record.
you
You
got
could
it
probably
then?
get
Why don't you get rid of it?
plenty of good money. Just
Who's
sell
gonna
it,
want it?
Rob.
I've got a
Sell it
pile of
right there
records
somewhere.
at my door that I don't want. That's one of them.
Look
And
at
this
that.
is the worst record of all time. So this one.
Oh, come on. Come on. Is that the gatefold? Turn it around.
Yeah.
Turn
I-
it around.
I don't-
It's a reissue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Well,
can
I
still
think
get
I've
good
got that
money for it.
reissue, Rob.
Hang on.
Yeah. It's,
Right.
it's not the worst album of all time. I think it's one of the most overrated.
Yeah, it's
Rob,
overrated.
have you got that? Have you got that Pink Banana album again?
What this?
Yeah, right. Hang on, Ian.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw you were talking about that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Is
just
that the original?
On the MTN out label.
yeah.
Guess what tonight's photo opportunity is going to be?
Yeah. I think
All bananas.
I mean, if I went to a record shop with this, I'm not sure how much I'd get for it. £7 or £8 or something, maybe.
Do you know
Well,
what?
record shops are going to pay you very much for it, Rob. You're going to sell it privately.
And then that, how much would I get for that? Do you think?
Well, a record store's not going to pay you very much.
50p.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Americans will pay you good money for that. That's very
Well, you might
popular.
get a couple of quid.
It's
for
one
that.
of his most best-selling albums, Rob.
It's a gatefold.
Rob, all you have to do is just list it and just wait, and somebody will buy it eventually.
List it. What do you mean, list it?
Well, I don't know where do you guys sell records online in the UK? Is it
I don't-
eBay?
I don't do stuff like that.
Discogs? Why not? You could raise money.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't. I don't need to raise any money. I'm doing all right.
Okay.
So,
I just can't do it once I've got an album.
Yeah.
I just can't let it go, even if it's crap.
With it.
Really?
I might start liking it when I get, in about another 30 years when I'm like 60. I might start liking it.
You might. Your hearing won't be so good, so you might like it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it doesn't get any better when you get older.
I brought Hot Space by Queen, and I hate it. But
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
It's only got one good song on it.
I've got loads of crap records, mate.
And Genesis, I'm not a great fan of Invisible Touch, but I wouldn't sell it.
It is one. Have you ever heard this one, Mike? Have you heard that one?
Who's that?
Oh,
Wallpaper Sounds.
Wallpaper sounds
Oh.
pretty good.
well, when did he do that then?
I don't know. You
Is it any
should never
good?
put it that way.
I just don't know it.
This is
Yeah.
a reissue from 26. Well, this is from 2016, but I don't think it came out then.
No,
Oh,
he
yeah,
couldn't have.
Pete Shelley. I've got
Yeah,
quite a
I
few
think
Pete
it's
Shelley
7
albums.
of his.
This is really instrumental. It's instrumental. I need to give it another listen. When I heard it, when I bought it, I wasn't a fan of it, but who knows?
I made a video called "The 10 Worst Records in My Collection," and I just trashed all of them.
it was really a release, you know.
Oh, I've done loads of videos.
Oh,
Like,
oh dear. Michael,
What?
read that. From your
Oh,
yeah.
Stevie's got no idea. No idea.
You know, he's a typical peanut, you know, in the gallery taking pot shots at me, you know? No guts. No guts. I'll be like the wax. Come up here, Stevie. Come up here.
Yeah. He's just a faceless troll, Michael.
He is a faceless troll who doesn't even make any videos. Fake news.
Deary me. Where was we?
What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, that felt good.
Chris
The
Record Talk said,
whole panel has just gone to mess now.
Chris Record Talk said I'm going to be 60 by the end of this stream. He's not far wrong there.
No. Anyway.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut it down.
This stream were going okay till you turned up.
Sure.
Oh, this is getting really.
Oh dear, oh dear.
All right.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a freaky story. I live such a social life. I go shopping with my mate Leon. We go shopping on Thursday afternoons. And today we bought the same. We didn't buy the same groceries, but the bills were exactly the same. How freaky is that?
Yeah.
Freaky deaky.
Yeah.
The person in the thing says, I don't believe I've just rang in that you're both the same. I'm going to have a rant now. I don't know how many of you guys get it. You get these people sending you messages with a screenshot of your YouTube channel.
No,
Yeah.
I never had that.
Mark's going, I can get you this. I can get you that. Da-di-da-di-da.
Yeah. And they're always in the Far East, aren't they?
I had one guy do it on YouTube, my Facebook page, and my Instagram. The same bloke, right? And I said, there's one favour you can do for me, and that's to, in capital letters, I put Foxtrot Oscar.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm gonna pull the shrink off.
Oh, that's making it big. That'll upset some people in the VC, Rob, pulling the drink off.
Yeah. Yeah, that passes for eroticism on the VC.
I'm getting nauseous.
There we go. It's free now. It's free.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's no good, right? That peach jelly, no good.
I'm gonna give it some more plays. This is another thing that I've never shown this on my channel before. So
Yeah.
It's a Rob Walker first. Say,
Yeah.
Rob, what kind of videos? What
The sounds doesn't seem very promising, does it?
no, it is a little bit like wallpaper, but I'll give it another listen over the weekend. And
I'll be interested.
I might do a bit of decorating.
We're going to see some new videos from you between now and the end of the year, Rob. What do you got planned?
I've got a few Christmas dues to go to, with my friends, and I'm going to the Man City game on Saturday. City against Liverpool.
Nice.
So I'm going for some drinks after that game. Hopefully City will win. I watched Oldham last night. They won 4-1 against Barnet. So that was on TV. That was good.
Yeah.
Got a Christmas party on the 16th. I've got a night out with some mates on the 8th. And I'm going out on the 22nd, which is the Friday that I finish work. just before Christmas. And then I finish work on the 22nd, and I go back in, I think, on the 2nd of January.
Oh, nice long break.
I get a nice break, yeah. So
Don't
I know
forget
you probably didn't want that much detail, but you know,
it was nice. It
Don't
was
forget
nice.
we've got the party, the bit in the middle.
oh look,
The 20th.
Oh, a different cat. How many cats you have, Rob?
I've got two.
Oh, that's a beauty.
That's Holly.
What's this one called?
Holly.
You've just woken up somebody. You heard a cat meowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got too many parties myself, but every year, me and my next door neighbour, we go out for a meal and what have you.
Yeah.
And this year, we're going out for a meal, but instead of having a drink after, we're coming back to where we both live, because she lives upstairs above me. And we're going to be doing this. We're going to be making cocktails.
All 200.
No. Well, I'm a mojito person. She's a margarita person. So we're going to make our own cocktails. Got all the kit, the shakers, and all the muddlers, and so that's going to be a lot of fun.
What is that? He's a beer. Oh, Moretti. He likes the Italian beer. That's nice.
What's your drink of choice, Mike, Simon, Michael?
Well,
Yeah, I've got a Brewdog as well. This one.
Oh,
Shore
nice.
Leaf.
I've got Hazy Jane at the moment.
Yeah.
6 a.m. here, so I'm having coffee, Rob.
Yeah, it's early, isn't it, over there? Thanks for joining us, Michael. It's always a pleasure.
Rubicon at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's everyone been watching on the VC this week before I go?
Well, I dip into a little bit of the Ghost, just to see if I've been mentioned, and
yeah.
And then I always look for which guests do I like? Well, I like you, Rob. I always check to see if you're on because you're exceedingly charming.
Yeah.
And anybody else? I don't really care for that Craig Danger fellow.
Yeah, we had a bit of a tape. I'd say he picked straight away, didn't he? When I said so, he jumped down my throat, didn't he? He got triggered big time.
Ooh, I missed that part.
Yeah, because he made a video, didn't he, where he was saying how he should behave in the VC.
Oh yeah, like he should yeah.
Well, he ended up turning it all about him and his bad experiences, But I mean, I say you can slag off the VC, you can give your opinion on the VC, do it on live streams. Don't put it on videos. It's not a good idea.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, if you put it on video, you're opening yourself up to.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I've done it.
We had the return of Vinyl Richie on Rachel's Ghost. That was an epic event.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And, Alan's back, isn't he?
Yeah,
Alan made a video. Yes. I think he's back. When he does that, it's kind of like the Russians, You get some sort of code from them to know what's going on. And Alan made a video where he's actually playing records and talking to his audience. So I think he's back. And if he's back, then the puppets are back.
Could be.
Could be. Yeah. I think that's the major news in the VC this week. Alan being back.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was shocked and stunned.
He probably doesn't want to do it right away. He probably give him a bit of time first.
Yeah, but when you go down the side on your YouTube, and there was a little blue circle, I went, am I seeing things? But no. And it's nice to see him back. So welcome back to the community, Alan. You've been missed.
No, I won't go that far.
And that's why you probably won't make another video.
We were worried about you. That's as far as it goes.
No, we weren't worried at all.
Alan will go on Rob's live stream. That's what's going to happen.
He will.
He probably will, actually. Anyone who's anybody will be going on that.
Says you.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking of people, I have heard from Naomi this week, and she's okay.
You gotta try and get the wax on, Rob.
Yeah, Rob. He doesn't go on anybody else's.
When he's blocked.
He doesn't go on anybody else's stream except the.
No, he does. He was on George Borden's money the other. I noticed. Yeah.
He went on
He's
George
been on
Borden's.
one of my streams, one only, and that's the one when I stood in for Rachel. So, but it was on my channel, so he's been on one of mine.
Yeah.
You know what he did? You know what he did, Rob?
What?
He went on to George Borden's stream briefly with the sole intention of being a Trojan horse, so he could get the Sixth Beatle kicked off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then the next night they all slagged the Sixth Beatle. It was the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed though, Rachel, I think she needs to up her medication because at times over the last week, she's gone totally off the rails, off the chart. But then within half an hour, she's back to a normal self. But she's had episodes in the last week where she's totally lost it.
Yeah. I mean, I watched a bit. I watched a bit today because she mentioned Martin.
Yeah.
And she kind of like started to talk about Martin, and then it all kind of stopped because what happens is as soon as somebody that's not waxed gets mentioned, waxed comes in to try and shut it down because it's sort of that's not allowed,
Right.
So I thought she was gonna do his incomprehensible thread that he was trying to get going. I quite honestly, I would like to have done it, but I just can't understand what it is.
I can't think what she was saying about it, but I don't think she'd said anything about Martin, did she?
No, she didn't in the end.
So why title it about Martin and not?
I think Martin, he did get some subscribers from it though, because Martin,
right?
I think he's on like 394, so he has picked up a few subscribers probably from that thumbnail.
Yeah.
So, I did say to her when I was on there, I did say that she did Lloyd Boons, and Lloyd got a good 20 subscribers from Rachel. In his channel. So, she can have her detractors and who's perfect, but when she does promote other channels, she does get people to sort of subscribe. So I don't.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it, with the world? I mean, nothing is sort of like black and white, sort of good and evil.
No.
Just sort of like mostly evil. I think. But sometimes she seems quite magnanimous. But
yeah,
I always sort of in the back of my mind, I think, is there some sort of ulterior motive?
I don't mind being on, but as soon as there's too many people, that's when I sort of move off. Then, well, any more than 6, it gets a little bit rowdy, doesn't it? And you can't get your voice heard really.
Yeah, you like to be the center of attention. That's why.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Do, that's right. Yeah, you ever thought of taking up chain smoking, Rob? Because that seems to be the fashion on Rachel Street.
No, it's not. Not something I'm into. That. Yeah, that was she called Stefan, isn't it? And what's she called Ruth Ann as well? She smokes quite heavily, doesn't she?
I think
the South African guy, whatever his name is.
Yes,
I think Ruth Ann is foxy.
That's
damn, I think she's fine.
Are we talking about that tomorrow, Michael?
Yeah, Chris is saying here. I noticed that he did the rabbit hole video for Martin. I kind of get the concept. So a rabbit hole for me would be sort of King Gizzard would probably be a rabbit hole. I've started to get into them and buy albums by them. Jazz would probably be a little bit of a rabbit hole because over the last probably 3 years I've been buying more jazz really than normally. And if I see jazz cheap, or even if I see reissues at a good price, then I've certainly I've got quite a healthy jazz collection now, so that's a bit of a.
I'd really like to have a go, you know, because Martin's a good guy and all that. But
Yeah.
I really didn't understand
No.
what he was really after, and I mean, I don't think he really knew what he was asking
Martin
when he
hasn't got a
started.
clue. No.
Yeah, so you know, but I'd really love to do it if I could understand exactly what it's all about.
Yeah,
My rabbit holes would be Fela Kuti, Beavis Fond, and King Gizzard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
the gears. That's a big rabbit hole, isn't it?
Fela Kuti is. That's a good one, Ian. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a good excuse to show my collection because I've probably got 10 Fela Kuti albums. 10.
Yeah, I think that's one artist, and I think I might save me shillings and buy that box set that you've got, Rob.
Yeah,
yeah.
I want that box set, Rob.
Yeah, it's still available.
Oh, lovely.
Like,
that's a great album. The London Scene.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes. Yeah, I think that. I mean, that'd be my 3 rabbit holes.
Yeah.
I think I'll have a go. I think I've got a better idea now. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's my conception of his.
Yeah, it is
thread. But yeah. I think I'd.
Yeah, I think Chris did a video. I started watching it. Obviously, after about a minute, I got a bit irritated, so I haven't watched any more of it.
So, what is this notion of rabbit hole? That's just an artist that you keep getting sucked into and exploring, or they're always like.
It's a kind of old sort of like Alice in Wonderland sort of analogy.
Yeah.
But rabbit hole means that it leads you to other artists.
Yeah, could do. Yeah.
Well,
like me with jazz is a rabbit hole, and it takes me to, Art Blakey and Eric Dolphy and everyone else in between. So
yeah.
You haven't got. What's your jazz collection like, Simon? I don't see you showing much jazz.
I do have a few pieces.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of jazz. Yeah, I have shown quite a bit of jazz in the past.
Is it mainly sort of bop? Hard bop stuff, you think?
I don't really know how to.
Stuff like the 40s.
No, more recent than that. Sort of.
Oh, right, okay.
60s onwards.
Have you got any Miles Davis on vinyl then, or Herbie Hancock?
I've got some Miles Davis. Yeah. I got Pictures Brew, and I got like Ella Fitzgerald and those sort of mainstream ones,
Look out.
Which one is that? Bitches Brew?
Yeah. Record Store Day from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the cover's different than the US version.
Yeah, this is a Record Store Day.
You play it often? Do you like the record?
Yeah. No, I didn't used to like it. It was on my video of worst buys ever. But I've started playing it now. I've got into it. So that's why you should hang on to stuff. So it just must have been the period I wasn't feeling it. But now I really do enjoy it. So
yeah, I'm a huge Dave Brubeck fan. I love
I like Dave Brubeck.
Yeah, I got a bit of
This is a guy that sort of
who's that?
I've sort of fallen for. Sun Ra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
How many albums has he done, Mike?
A lot.
Oh, bloody hell. Probably hundreds. But, sort of like, since he died, there's the Sun Ra Orchestra are still going.
Right.
So there's more and more all the time. But I really love this stuff. It's quite weird. It's not exactly accessible. I wouldn't say that if you want to get into jazz, that you should listen to Sun Ra.
No.
I think Metal Theologian did a video about Sun Ra. He really gets deep.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get used to the way he talks.
Yeah, I don't really know his channel.
Yeah, my love for Dave Brubeck is all down to my granddad.
Yeah.
he was into Dave Brubeck, and I remember he used to go around him, and he'd always have Dave Brubeck on, and
Yeah.
That's more like accessible jazz, isn't it? Really?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
it was my introduction into jazz.
Let me show a load of jazz albums that cost me £1 each.
Okay.
Dave's kind of blue, Sketches of Spain, Bitches Brew, The Man with the Horn, Miles in the Sky. Some great albums there. Great albums, Dave.
Yeah. The Man with the Horn conjures up images, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a great fan of Sketches of Spain. So it all meanders a bit.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got quite a lot of
jazz.
label.
I need to have the jazz bums.
Can you make him bigger? Okay, there you go. Oscar Peterson Trio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that.
Who's that? That is Cannonball Adderley.
Oh, yeah.
These were they might have been £2, something like that. They were expensive anyway. And then this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Dexter Gordon. He's great.
That's the sort of jazz I pick up, but you know, it's on Polydor.
Yeah.
Nice copy.
Yeah. I mean, you showed Oscar Peterson. I mean, he used to have a television program.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, it was a weekly show.
It's on Verve.
Oh yeah. Well, they've all got to be on Verve or Blue Note, haven't they?
Put that one back up again, Simon, because we didn't quite catch it.
What's that, Simon? Who's that?
Jack Sheldon.
Oh, I don't
There's
know.
no Jack Shell.
Yeah.
No, I don't know it.
Go past, yeah.
This is on the Green Capital. Don't know who that is.
Dave Brubeck.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
That might be jazz. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Charlie Bird.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, a lot of things I don't know here.
Yeah, there's a lot here which aren't like that well known. That one.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff there.
George Shearing.
Were these all pretty cheap, Simon? Yeah.
No, a lot of these will cost quite a bit because it's on the DVX label. You need an encoder to play these.
Right.
And they sound absolutely amazing. Like,
Right.
What do you need? What do you mean you need a decoder to play them? It's a vinyl record.
it's pressed in a way that you can hear it if you play it on a standard record player, but it won't sound very good. You need the encoder because it's you get the full 100 decibel range with these records,
Yeah.
which you don't on a standard record, and so you need the encoder to do that. And the sound you get is like it's wow. It's completely very different to like the standard sound you would normally hear.
Yeah.
And what is this encoder, this decoder? What is it? A piece of hardware?
Yeah. I mean, I can show you. 1 second.
Okay.
You see that?
That's like a dedicated piece of hardware for that record label?
Yeah. It has its own library of
Holy
records. It
That is
started
hardcore. How big is this record label?
pretty big. I mean, like it started in the 70s, and all the way in sort of maybe into the mid 80s, I think. But it died out because not enough people were sort of buying it, and
Yeah.
CDs and that were out, and there's a lot going on. So
I've never seen that before. Never heard of it. Never saw it before. I never see him in Japan.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've got a question for the panel here. You know, we're all sort of like our house now, but if someone said to you 10, 20 years ago, you will end up buying jazz, what would you have said?
You're crazy.
No, I had jazz record. I had jazz 30 years ago.
So you're the exception. I had
Let me go and get what I had.
Yeah,
I mean, I tried with jazz. I just never, it really never took to me. I mean, I had a lot of musician friends, and I don't know. As a 13-year-old kid, it just wasn't for me.
Oscar Peterson,
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, Herb Alpert. I mean, my dad's rock and roll, but my dad had loads of Herb Alpert albums. I mean, I love the Spanish Flea. I just think that's brilliant bit of music.
Herb and the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah, that album.
Yeah, I'm with you, Michael. I mean, jazz wasn't really a thing that I considered I'd ever buy, and I do now. So, got these. Ray Harris Dolphy album out to lunch.
So I got this probably 25 years ago. So that's when I started to listen to Miles Davis. So
Right.
Yeah.
But it's got his classic records on it.
Yeah.
And they're very approachable. But I mean, like free jazz, when it's like improvisational jazz.
No,
I mean,
I think that is the sort of music that you do get into as your sort of musical taste sort of develop. Most people's musical tastes do develop. Not many of us stay listening to the same, although some of us do, don't they? The BC's evidence of that. But you'll get maybe 25-30% of people who do, the taste grow, don't they? And you get 75% who just like the same stuff as they liked when they were 15. So
yeah, the thing with me is I'm listening. I mean, I was never a big fan of Nirvana when they came out, but
yeah, me neither.
But I do like the Nevermind album. I think that's a terrific album. A very important album. But you would have got me listening to Nirvana in 1991.
You didn't used to like Smiths, did you? Really?
I didn't like the Smiths back them days. But as time goes on, I think it's in all sorts of music, you start to appreciate it more.
I think so.
Than you did in the day. And that's how I'm excited about listening to the Smiths and Morrissey now. I mean, another band that I really are getting into, a Joy Division.
Yeah.
And the Stone Roses. You know, I wouldn't have given a listen, but these days I do.
I mean, they're good bands, aren't they? Because there's only 2-3 albums, isn't there? So, you can get into them relatively easy, but
right.
I mean, well, you can imagine what I was listening when they were out. I was buying Saxon, Motorhead, and Judas Priest, and Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even think, whoa, a load of old rubbish.
Yeah, but you can tell, Iain, by the things that you sort of rank on your channel. It's not all the same sort of thing, is it? It's like on Monday you're doing Athlete, aren't you? I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I love Athlete. I think that's
me too.
Yeah, I like Athlete.
But it's an interesting point, Rob. I mean, some artists only have a few records in their catalog. When you get into like Bob Dylan and the Grateful Dead, I mean, you're talking about 100 records. You know? I mean, what? They could bankrupt you.
Yeah.
You see, I want to get the Stone Roses album on vinyl. That is a must for me.
Yeah.
Well, the original.
The original debut album. I love that album. I haven't got it. The only way I listen to it is on Spotify, but it goes on quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a good album.
It's a Sunday morning album when I'm doing Pottering About album. That's what I like about that album. It's a Pottering About.
That's the one with the lemons on it, right? The lemon slices.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I should pick that up. I've seen it's here.
Yeah, it's classic. That.
Yeah.
Was it 100 quid record for the Stone Roses now? Is it?
How much?
Is it 100?
Yeah, but I mean, you can get a reissue for 20 quid, can't you?
Yeah.
You can get it on white vinyl, can't you? Or
Yeah.
clear vinyl.
I won't care what vinyl it is, to be quite honest.
Just
That's
get
all
it.
right.
If you go on
No.
Amazon, here and you can get it for 20 quid.
Yeah.
It's one of them albums I need.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been going 2.5 hours, so I think that's a
long
good
enough.
time to stop. So thank you very much for everyone in the gallery for taking part. Don't forget to go if you want to still vote on the thing. We must do
Banana
our
albums.
on the albums of the thing.
Nice one, Mike.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
3, 2, 1. Bing.
There we go. That'll do. Lovely. Thank you very much, folks. Once again, thank you very much for our wonderful panel. Michael, all the way from Japan. Regular from Leeds. Mr. Mike's Final Spiral from Oldham, Manchester. Rob from the south coast of England. Vinyl. Dave, all the way from Ireland. Me, stuck in Northampton. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and we'll see you all next week.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice.